Horse coming at it. Bowler over on the far side. Bowler just in front. Rockin' Horse is in for the fight. Bowler and Rockin' Horse, they hit it. Bowler.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 318 and as always is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. This week we're going to preview our runners for Grand Prix Stakes Day at Eagle Farm on Saturday, Brisbane's road to the Magic Millions. But firstly, welcome back Tony, fresh from my first runner at the Longines Hong Kong International Races on Sunday.
Yeah, good morning everyone. It's good to be back actually. It was a good week over there, it's very exciting.
It's a great week.
Yeah, it's a really good week. I didn't realise the enormity of such a how much of an international meeting it was until I've been there. Obviously watched it from afar many times on TV, but without being part of the whole process like I was last week, I didn't have a clue as how big it was, but it was massive. It was a really good week. Couldn't thank the Hong Kong Jockey Club anymore for everything they did to make our transition, getting the horse over there and getting him to the races run so smoothly. Yep. Unfortunately, that didn't go into the race. No. Nothing went smooth in the race. It was quite a rough run affair for our bloke, but take out the result aside, which was a bit flattening, I must admit, on the day. Everything leading up to that, the preparation of him and just everything that went on with the week as far as what the club done for us, I couldn't be more thankful, and it certainly lit a little fire in me. I want to get back there and I certainly want to have a runner and win one of those races before I finish, that's for sure and certain. And
how has Antonio come through the run and what's the plans for him now?
He's come through the run really well actually. I expected him to be a little bit more knocked about because it was quite a rough run affair for him. He's eaten up well, his weight's coming back on beautifully post-race.
That's good.
He's over there in quarantine for 2 weeks now, so he's basically just got Bailey put him on and off the walker. He hasn't left a note. He'll make his way back to Australia on the 22nd, get here on the 23rd, and do a bit of quarantine then in Melbourne. So we'll probably just rest him for those 4 weeks, then we'll head back up to Embrook and we'll have a good look at him post-quarantine, probably get him back moving then along straight away, but we're the luxury of having him back at Embrook, we can pre-train him out of the paddock so he can get some grass time and what we call some active rest then, rather than just being in the confinements. But he'll do very well in the 4 weeks, even though it's restricted rest. Okay,
and watching from afar, you would have been really pleased with our winners back here on Saturday, the 2-year-old filly Formula Rossa and also Golden Boom in the listed Bribery.
Yeah, the team raced really well on Saturday. Eagle Farm raced as expected. That railed true, you just need to be off that fence. So we were onto that prior to the first and worked mostly well for us all day. 2-year-old was great. I thought she raced a bit close and she's still learning. She's not the finished product yet, but that's probably got enough to get her into the millions now, so she wouldn't have another run. If I thought I could qualify without one, I'd go straight to the race with her. She was good. Lockyer was a good run in getting beaten. He was probably the run of the race, running 4th or 5th. He was a good run also, so I'm not giving up on him just yet. And the Bribery was great. We had a big team of horses in there. They all raced quite well for where they're at, really. Golden Boom was probably my pick at the 1,000 and the way the track played negated that barrier and he got the job done. So that's good for Archer Park and their crew. They've won 2 feature races in 2 weeks and hopefully as we get towards on this road to Magic Millions, we can get a job done on the big day.
Okay. Now, before we get into the show, this week we have our latest promotion courtesy of the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize is a $200 voucher for the Apron restaurant at the Pullman Brisbane Airport. To enter, head to our Facebook page for this week's post about the Final Gallop. Click on the link that we provide and enter your details to go into the draw, and the winner will be announced on next week's show. Okay, on to the preview of our runners for Eagle Farm on Saturday. The rail is in the 2 metre position. The track is currently a heavy 8, but with thankfully fine and warm days ahead, you'd think we'd get back to a good by race day.
It'll be a good 4, yep. I reckon if we were racing tomorrow, it'd be a good 4, to be honest. It's just a beautiful draining track. It'll race off fence again. I think the rail was still down quite low at 2 metres, so it won't be as evident as what we saw in the weekends. We have brought that rail out, but for whatever reason, when that rail is down low, they do tend to want to get off that rail. So I think that'll be pretty similar again on the weekend, maybe not as extravagant.
Okay, the first race we start in is race 2, which is the benchmark 78 handicap over the 1600 metres. We have 2 runners. Cronenberg will carry 61.5 kilos with Emily Lang's 2 kilo claim. He's drawn barrier 1. He's paying $10 to win at the moment and $3.30 for the place. He didn't handle the heavy track last time out at Doomben. Before that was in good form with a win at this track and trip and then a close 3rd at Doomben, also over the mile.
Yeah, he's got out in the market here. I'm quite surprised. He's a good tough miler and he's very good at this grade. Emily's claim, he gets in well. He gets in with a weight that he's actually won at. He races forward. He likes Eagle Farm. He likes good ground. He ticks a lot of boxes. I think he's far better chance than $10.
Okay, the second runner we have is Queen Air. She'll carry 56.5 kilos. Angela Jones rides barrier 10. She's paying $6 to win at the moment and $2.30 for the place. Was very good at her first start for our stable over the 13.50 on a wet track at Doomben. She will strip fitter and appreciate the step up to the mile as well.
Going really well. We'll love this race. I ran her the other day because I wanted to get her into this race. On this occasion, she gets in well at the benchmark. The track will suit. Will ride back quite from that draw. There looks to be enough pressure up front, so that won't negate her chances going back. And she's a natural horse that wants to find her feet anyway. She raced really well on ground that she hates the other day. She still run terrific. I dare say on a good track the other day she wins.
Yep.
So you're going to get good ground, getting up to the distance range that suits her. Massive chance.
Okay, how are you going to split though? Her? Queen Air? Okay.
Yeah, I really like her. She's got a touch of quality about her. Cronenberg's a nice horse. He's got to carry a bit of weight in these sort of races, and he's just getting to that uncomfortable spot in his life. He either goes up a grade or he stays here. She's a mare that's been to better races. I think she'll run very well.
Okay, we go to race 3 now, which is the Fillies and Mares benchmark 78 over the 1200 metres. Insta Good will run in this, 53.5 kilos with Emily Lang's 2 kilo claim. She'll jump from barrier 4. She's paying $7 at the moment to win and $2.40 for the place. She was very good last start late at Doomben over the 1110 in this grade. Should appreciate the slight rise in trip and also Emily's claim.
Yeah, she's a nice mare. She's doing a good job. My only reservation with her is the 1200. I had her in 2 races, 1200 and the 1000. And look, we drew so bad in our emergency in the 1000. There was no reason not to have a look at the 1200 again for her. I've got a reservation on the trip. She'll land midfield on the back of the speed. She'll get a lovely run, and she loves Eagle Farm. The big track definitely suits her. My only query is late. That last bit of the last half furlong on the 1200.
We go down to race 4, which is the benchmark 78 handicap over the 1000 metres. Saltaire will run in this, 59.5 kilos with Emily Lang's 2 kilo claim. She's jumping from barrier 2. She's paying $6.50 to win and $2.20 for the place. Was poor away first up in the Tax Classic and had to come from a long way back and look to peak late. A better jump in the drop-in trip should put her right in a race like this.
Yeah, I think back to a 1000 is the key to her.
Okay.
I've got a bit of a question mark on her at 1200. I think 1000's ideal. Right grade, right track, right jockey, right barrier. Everything marries up really well here. I don't see her getting back that far. She was for some reason slow out the other day, which she doesn't need to be. I think she can be midfield here. Okay. If she can be midfield and just travel kindly, there's no reason she can't hit the line really well here. I think she's an excellent chance. I think she's over the odds.
Okay. We are going to race 5 now, which is the Class 6 plate over 1200 metres. We have 4 runners in this. We'll start with Millane. He'll carry 58.5 kilos. Vlad Jurek rides barrier 10. He's paying $7.50 to win and $2.30 for the place. Was on his first up in the Group 3, George Moore for 4th on a heavy track. Gets back to Eagle Farm where he's had some good results and will enjoy a drier track.
Yeah, his run was better than it looked first up. He got a pretty significant black eye from kickback, which he recovered really quickly from. And then 2 or 3 days later, he also did scope with a bit of mucus, which has been tidied up. So whether there was a couple of things lingering with him, I thought his run was still okay in what was a good race. I mean, Hidden Wealth give nothing a chance. He went out quick and kept going. And Robbie Dolan, who rode him on that occasion, was still pleased with the way he found the line. I think you'll see good improvement. He's significantly back in grade here. They'll go along at a good gallop at plenty of speed. He'll be back, back towards the rear of the field. But he's one you'll certainly see coming with the big bounds late.
Okay, next one we'll talk about is Black on Beauty, who's pretty girl right here.
Yeah, she's sweet.
She'll carry 58.5 kilos with Jag Guthman Chester riding barrier 8. She's paying $19 to win and $4.40 for the place. She was a little bit disappointing first up in the Tats Classic, but will be fitter for the run. Has good form second up and also at the track and trip.
Yeah, I thought she was asked too much off first up. She went too quick on her. First up from a run with only the one trial. I thought it went along at too good a gallop. She'll improve significantly fitness-wise off that. This will suit her. She's not a one-trick pony, which is good. There is a bit of speed here. Hell likes to go out pretty quick. Maximum Vortex rolls along. You got her and Typhoon Taavi also rolling along. So I think out of those 4 horses that like to be up on pace, dominating races, she's the most versatile. Okay. I think she could just drop in and travel kindly behind that speed and give her punters a really good sight. She's over the odds.
Okay, next one is Typhoon Taavi. She'll carry 58.5 kilos. Kyle Wilson-Taylor rides and she'll jump from barrier 11. She's paying $17 to win and $4 for the place. She was a bit of a victim of circumstance first up at Doomben. Had a good win at this track and trip last preparation, and an improved effort would not really surprise you.
Should have clearly dropped in and got a trail first up. It was a young boy on her, was a late inclusion on there. the apprentice we had due to rider was suspended and couldn't, when the meeting was shifted, couldn't hold the mount, unfortunately. And I just got a pretty average steer, really. Just covered way too much ground first up. And she was big in condition. She's always going to improve off that, which she has. She looks fantastic going into this. You'll see big improvement in her. Yet again, she's got to be more, malleable in the way that she races. She's one that likes to get up and dominate from the front. That's going to be hard to do in a race like this because they're going to go quick. So if she can adapt to that different pattern, which is lob into that third, fourth, somewhere just behind the speed, she can also run well. She'll be somewhere around where this mare is, I hope. Yep. Unless some of the others don't go quick, then she'll dominate. But look, she's a big improver, but she needs to improve off that first up run, which I'm sure she will.
Okay, and the fourth one is Busting. He'll carry 55.5 kilos. Angela Jones on board. Barrier 9. Busting's paying $3 to win and $1.45 for the place. He's been great without winning in his 2 runs back from a long break, and the 1200 metres should suit him now.
Look, he'll go really well. It's the spot he finds which worries me a little bit here. He's pretty versatile. You can go back and run on. You can go forward. I think with enough speed, we come out just come out neutral on him. Try and find a midfield or worse position. As long as he gets in, gets a bit of cover, they'll be certainly coming off the fence, in my opinion. And if he can track up on the back of the speed and run on, he can run well. Hell, the favourite in this race has the ability to get horses uncomfortable in running. Yeah. I think Busting's got enough natural tempo to not be uncomfortable. If he can travel, he's the one that'll be coming. Him and Millane will be coming with the big bounce.
How are you going to split the 4?
It's hard to know. I mean, Busting's off the scene for so long and he's come back and he's really showed that ability is there. Millane come out of a good race, second up. I do think the horses back are the ones to run on. Sometimes in these races where Hell's been in, it's been very hard to make up ground. He just needs to get them uncomfortable. I think it's an interesting race and one that I won't be having a bet in. It's just a sit and watch race for me. Okay.
We got to race 9 now, which is the Class 3 plate over the 1400 metres. Boom Shot is in this, and he'll carry 58.5 kilos. Kyle Wilson-Taylor will sit in the saddle, and he'll jump from barrier 6. He's paying $6.50 to win and $2.50 for the place. He hasn't been far away in his 3 runs this preparation and was very unlucky last start. Gets to the 1400 metres now, which will suit.
Yeah, I think it'll suit. I'm not sure. I'm in 2 minds with him. I don't know whether he wants that, the big track fast run 1200 running on, or he wants the 1400 on. I'm sort of in 2 minds. I'm going to give him the opportunity here. He's been desperately looking to get to Eagle Farm, hasn't he? If you look at his races around Doomben, he's desperately wanting this track. 1400 should suit. He should be midfield, just travel where he's comfortable and finish off. And he's going really well. He's a much better horse this time round. He's been racing well without winning. He was bitterly unlucky the other day, just the way he was going through them. So, look, he deserves his chance. I'm a little bit on the fence at 1400 until he does it. Okay. He profiles like a horse that should get it, however. Okay.
We go right down to race 10 now, which is the open handicap over the 1800 metres. Felix the Scat will be our runner in this race. 53 kilos. Kyle Wilson-Taylor rides barrier 6. He's paying $9 to win and $3 for the place. Went well with a big win first up on a good track, but then not handling the heavy 10 last start, so it's a forget run. Rises to the 1800 metres, which is also a positive.
Yeah, he just needed the run to get him ready for this race the other day. I knew he wouldn't handle a heavy. It was really heavy. Like Doomben, that heavy 10 the other day was as heavy as you get. Yeah. They normally would not hold a meeting. No. It's that heavy there. But look, we did, and it went well. We got through the meeting, and it was a conditioning run that he needed to get to this. He's in great order. Looking at him this week, particularly after being away a week, he's come right on the skin, and he looks fantastic, this horse. So, look, I think he finds a midfield spot here that looks to be genuine enough sort of tempo. Good to see Gain Adrian in town. They roll the races along a little bit over this 1800, which will suit. So there'll be pressure enough on, and if we can be midfield, we can hit the line well. He's got a touch of quality about him. He's matured well this preparation, and you'll see him bounce back. He's one of my better chances on the card.
Okay. We are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who is your best winning chance at Eagle Farm on Saturday?
I'm gonna go Queen Air in the first. I think she's terrific, but the next one I'll give my each way. You could back probably both these each way and get the same result.
Okay, and your best each way chance?
Each way will be Saltaire. I think she's way over the odds. I love her back to the 1,000.
Okay. Your best at the provincials, we've got the Sunny Coast on Friday and Toowoomba on Saturday, and also the Sunny Coast again on Sunday.
Interesting. Sunny Coast, 9 metre rail up there tomorrow night is tricky. Yeah. Toowoomba, haven't got the draws out yet. Hopeful of good ground up there. We've got 1 runner up there, 3 T's. I think he can really, really improve on a good track with the blinkers on. He raced well on the wet the other day, which he doesn't love. He just didn't finish off. I think good ground with the blinkers on, he can run well. So I think we've got some good chances at the provincials. But I will leave him until Sunday. Yeah. I'm going to go a 2-year-old called Midnight Spirit. I really, really like him as a horse. Whether I run him this Sunday or next Sunday, I'll be looking at the field. This week's a handicap, next week's a maiden. I'll have a look at what race I think suits best, but follow him wherever he goes. That's been my provincial tip.
Okay. Now it is time. Oh, sorry. Best track worker this week.
This week, track work here on the course proper Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Look, probably hard to go past Felix,
Okay.
ticking over really, really nicely, and Queen Air. I think she's going really well. I think both those horses are going super. Saltaire's always a sharp enough worker. She's a very fit horse, so they're probably the two, I think.
Now it is time for Cavs Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Unlucky for Cavs Multi last week. Transatlantic was in the inferior going and Zarastro was only just beaten. We did say that Zarastro was big enough to carry his weight, but wasn't it a win-win last week?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't here last week, remember?
Oh,
I tend not
sure.
to watch Cavs Corner when I'm not here.
Okay, well anyway, let's see what he's got for us this week.
Welcome to Cavs Corner for this week. No joy last week, but we'll venture to this weekend and we'll go busting a place into Boom Shot a place. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone back to the tried and true for him, which is a place. He's gone busting into Boom Shot.
Well, it's always been his better model, so
Yes, it
I
has.
like it.
Yeah.
I think the open races that's a very good Class 6 plate.
Yeah.
Interesting race, and Busting's a highly talented horse. So I'd be shocked if he didn't run top 3. And Boom Shot, yeah, my only query was the 1400. He's racing like he wants it.
Yep.
Eagle Farm will suit, and the horse could not look any better than what he does. So, yeah, I don't mind it. I like it.
Okay.
Win-win would scare me a little bit,
Yeah.
but place I'm very happy with.
Okay, well good luck on Saturday, Tony, as the road to the Magic Millions gets a bit shorter.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. Everything's coming along nicely towards the summer. We're a bit light on in the feature race this weekend, but look out for us from next week on.
Okay, best of luck to everyone over the weekend.